Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Sussex Champions, the podcast where we pull apart royal narratives, celebrity media spin, and the stories powerful people don't want examined too closely. I'm Mark, your host, and throughout this week we're going to be unpacking a very specific media moment. The renewed British and American campaign against Prince Harry following his testimony against Associated Newspapers, the publisher of the Daily Mail. Now, let me be clear up front. This is not a royalist podcast. It's also not a Sussex fan podcast. What we do here is look at power, press, perception, and personal responsibility. And yes, sometimes that means acknowledging when someone is being unfairly targeted and when they're making their own life harder. Because with Prince Harry, both things can be true at the same time. Prince Harry has been in the tabloids' crosshairs for most of his adult life. That part is nothing new. But what is new is the coordination we're seeing right now. Within days of Harry testifying in court, emotionally, publicly, and directly accusing British newspapers of long-term privacy violations, stories began appearing across British and American outlets, all singing from the same hymn sheet. Harry is bitter. Harry is irrelevant. Harry is broke. Harry is stuck in the past. This isn't organic gossip. This is messaging. And it follows a very old media rule. You sue one of us. You sue all of us. That instinct explains why the backlash didn't stop at the Daily Mail or the UK press. It crossed the Atlantic. Enter page 6, owned by the Murdoch-controlled New York Post. The headline alone tells you everything you need to know. Royal warrior to sideline spare. Prince Harry's failing new life in Hollywood spotlight crumbles. This is not reporting. This is branding. The article frames Harry as emotionally unstable, crying in court one day, sipping champagne at Sundance the next, as if human beings aren't capable of holding grief and normal life at the same time. But here's where we start to shift slightly away from automatic sympathy for Harry. Because while page 6 exaggerates and editorializes, they're exploiting something Harry himself keeps handing them. Contrast without clarity. Is it nuts to testify about privacy violations and then attend Sundance days later? Objectively, no, but optically, it's messy. Harry has positioned himself as a man traumatized by media intrusion, and that's legitimate. But when he repeatedly moves between legal victimhood and celebrity visibility, he creates an easy narrative for hostile outlets. The media didn't invent that contrast. They weaponized it, and Harry, frankly, hasn't learned how to close that gap. Page 6 leans heavily on unnamed Hollywood sources, claiming Harry is, without purpose, without steady income, essentially a glorified house husband, living off Meghan's dwindling opportunities. Some of this is clearly malicious nonsense, but some of it lands because Harry's post-royal identity remains undefined. Invictus Games, genuine success, military advocacy, credible, memoir sales, massive. But beyond that, Harry's Hollywood phase has been inconsistent, and he's allowed others to frame it for him. Spotify ended, Netflix projects stalled or quietly wrapped, Africa Doc rumours fizzled, Polo lasted one season. This doesn't make him a failure, but it does make him vulnerable to the accusation. One of the laziest tricks in this article is the breathless panic over Harry's finances. He made $27 million from Spare, but where did it go? This is tabloid theatre. They ignore Better Up. They ignore speaking fees. They ignore long-term investment structures. At the same time, Harry hasn't helped himself by never clearly articulating what financial independence actually looks like for him. When you refuse to explain anything, others will explain everything for you. Badly. The most revealing moment in the piece isn't the Hollywood gossip. It's the Montecito quote. A local resident openly says she'd like to see Harry go back to England. And that's the quiet message humming beneath this entire campaign. This isn't about finances. It's not really about purpose. It's about control. The press wants Harry back in a system they understand, one where they define him. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Harry hasn't fully built a convincing alternative yet. Yes, this is a coordinated media response. Yes, Page 6 is pushing an agenda. Yes, Murdoch outlets hold grudges. But Harry also remains trapped in reaction mode, still fighting yesterday's battles instead of clearly building tomorrow's platform. The media didn't invent his uncertainty. They're just exploiting it. Prince Harry isn't a flop, he isn't broke, and he isn't irrelevant. But he is unfinished. And until he defines his purpose with the same intensity he brings to his lawsuits, the media will keep writing the story for him, cruelly, lazily, and profitably. This week, we'll keep breaking down how that story is being built, who benefits from it, and where Harry still has room to change the narrative himself. Thanks for listening to Sussex Champions. Subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next episode.